16th November 2021 Morning Murli Om Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, become knowledgeable and you will become wealthy. It is Jagadamba, the world mother, who becomes the goddess of knowledge and then the princess. Question: what Srimad does the Father give you children to elevate your fortune? Because He feels mercy for you. Answer: sweet children, remove the burden of sin on your heads with the pilgrimage of remembrance. Before death comes, don't perform any sinful action. The Father has come to liberate you from the gallons of the demons of death. Therefore, don't now perform any such action. Song: O traveller of the night, do not become weary. Your destination of the dawn is not far off. Om Shanti. You sweetest spiritual children understood the meaning of the song. The Father has come to destroy the night of devotion and to establish the day because you called out to the Father, O purifier, come and understand you were pure at one time and you are now impure. You only asked for something that you had before and no longer have. You children know that the kingdom of pure deities did exist. You will become gods and goddesses of knowledge and then prince and princess. Jagadamba is separate from Lakshmi. Lakshmi would not be called Jagadamba, world mother. Only the two children of Lakshmi would call her Mateshwari, means mother. Here, all of the people of Bharat who are religious minded call Jagadamba Ma, means mother. They go to the temples of the deities and worship them. You know, you have performed a lot of devotion. No one else would have donated as much or have performed as much charity as you. You have performed the maximum devotion. While alive, you have now seen your memorial. There are Adidev and Adidevi, who is called Jagadamba. You now know that Jagadamba becomes wealthy. You are her children and are now studying. She is the goddess of knowledge. No one becomes a king or queen through the knowledge. You souls know you are the children of shivbaba and that this one is Prajapita Brahma. Shivbaba is establishing the new world through this one. It is remembered that establishment takes place through Brahma. Understand this very well and imbibe it. It is said that a golden vessel is needed to hold the milk of a lioness. This knowledge is that of the Almighty Authority, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. For this too, you need an intellect like a golden vessel. In the new world, both souls and bodies are golden. You souls are now vessels of stone, and so your bodies are also like that. It is only in Bharat that they remember Sham and Sundar, the ugly and the beautiful one, and the pure and impure ones. In no other land would they say, come and make us impure ones pure. We say, liberate us from sorrow and take us into peace. Your conscience say, you people of Bharat were pure, and that it used to be the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. No matter how great someone may be, he too falls at the feet of his Guru. Because the Guru adopted renunciation, he has renounced the five vices, and those who are vicious therefore give regard to those who are viceless. There is praise of purity. The advisors of the kings and queens come into existence in the copper age. The kings and queens of the golden age don't have advisors. When the kings and queens became impure, they have one advisor. But they have now become very impure and so they have hundreds of advisors. Thus is the destiny of the drama. Baba tells you how the destiny of the drama is created. Therefore, first of all, there was definitely only Bharat, and then those of other religions came. The Father explains, at this time, your gods and goddess of knowledge, Jagadamba, the goddess of knowledge, is the daughter of Brahma. Jagadamba is knowledgeable, and she therefore becomes the goddess of wealth in her next birth. The Father is now teaching you knowledge. You know you will become wealthy here. No one in the world knows how Lakshmi and Narayan became wealthy. Lakshmi and Narayan were Saraswati and Brahma. Brahma is Jagatpita, the world father, and so there must definitely be many Brahmins. There are so many of you Brahmins. You know that through this knowledge you will become very wealthy in the future. You will become goddess of wealth. No one could have more wealth than you had at that time. This is why it is said knowledge is the source of income. Judges and barristers became that through studying knowledge. So it is an income. Some doctors receive hundreds of thousands of rupees for each case. When a king, queen, or a prince becomes ill and the doctor liberates them from his or her illness, they become very happy and give money to the doctor to build huge buildings. This is such a huge income. Therefore, a status is received by studying. This is your study as well as your business. You sweet children have now come here to make a deal. You give everything worth straws that you have and earn hundreds of thousands in return. The Father is the eternal surgeon and is teaching you yoga in order to make you ever healthy. Baba says, I guarantee you will become ever healthy for 21 births. So why should you not take the medicine of such a surgeon? That is, why should you not follow his Srimad? Obey the Father's directions. Remember me. It said, continue to remember God and receive happiness, and all your pain and suffering of the body will end. On the path of devotion, no one's pain or suffering is removed. When some sannyasis fall ill, they just lie there paralyzed, as though they are crazy. You children know that if you follow the Father's elevated directions, you will become ever healthy. There, everyone's lifespan is on average 125 to 150 years. It isn't that from the copper age, the lifespan suddenly becomes 35 years. No. At first, it is 100 to 125, and then it becomes about 70 to 80 years. It has now reached the stage where the average lifespan is 35 to 40 years. Some even die young because they indulge in sensual pleasures, means bhogis. You know, you are now changing from bhogis into yogis. There, your lifespan will be so long that there will never be untimely death. The Father reminds you how much fortune of the kingdom you had. Ravan has now robbed you. There won't be any temples, etc. Your slogan is victory for the original, eternal deity religion and defeat for all other religions. That is, all the innumerable religions should now be destroyed. There was just the one land of Bharat. There will definitely be few people in the one land. You can even write in a short time. The population of Bharat will be 900,000 and everyone else will be destroyed. The one religion is now being established. There will be just one language and one custom and system in the new deity kingdom. Here, each one's custom is his own. There was one kingdom and one community. You can write such slogans in the newspapers. Some ask Baba for advice. Should we spend money on printing something in the newspapers? Baba replies, you may do that so people can become aware of what is happening. It is said that heaven existed 3000 years before Christ. There was one religion and one community of Sun dynasty deities. The gates of heaven opened after the Mahabharat war. Print these things in the newspapers with the name of the Brahma Kumaris. However, you can only be called BKs when you remain pure. You called out to the Father for this, and now that He has come, make Him this promise. On the path of devotion, you stumbled so much and also had sacrificial fires, did tapasya and made donations, etc. At first, you used to worship one Shiv alone. Then you worship the deities and you have now become adulterated. Now the Father is liberating you from all sorrow. The Father is giving you children, knowledge and making you so elevated. From humans into deities. In the golden age, everything you have will be golden. The Father gives you Srimad and makes you into the masters of heaven. So why do you not follow Srimad? The Father liberates you from the gallons of the demons of death and also from the punishment of the jail of a worm. In heaven, you live in the palace of a worm. Here, it is jail because people commit so many sinful actions. There, although the five vices don't exist, there would still be a difference between the status of the king, the queen, and the subjects. People make so much effort to earn money. There are no advisors because you receive the reward of this type. The Father now tells you, children, follow Srimad. I have come from the faraway land into this impure kingdom and into an impure body. This is the land of Ravan. I come and gave you, children, your inheritance. Not to obey the directions of such a father means to be disobedient. You should not distress yourselves so much chasing after vice. Baba says this vices cause sorrow. It is my duty to purify the impure. He explains with so much love. Eat, drink, remain happy, but remember you have come to shivbaba and that you are being sustained by him. If you were something given by your friends or relatives, you will remember them and your status will be destroyed. You have to be sustained from Shivbaba's Bhandara, from the sacrificial fire of the purified Father, and not from impure homes. If you keep something given to you by someone else, you will remember them. For that, it is remembered. Whatever you remember in your final moments, your state should be very good. While living at home with your families, use your intellects to understand that everyone is to be destroyed. Mine is one shivbaba alone. Would you ever turn the beads of rosary of your father? I remind you, children, to remember me so that you will receive a lot of power and your sins will be absorbed and you will become powerful. Thus Lakshmi and Narayan are powerful. Those who are powerful receive the kingdom. Baba relates his own example. I adopted 12 gurus and one of the gurus said, wake up early in the morning and turn the beads of a rosary 1000 times. I said to him, give me another time to do this. I would become tired during the day in business, etc. In the same way, you also tell Baba that you are unable to wake up early in the morning. The Father says, don't say you are unable to remain pure or unable to stay in remembrance. If you don't have remembrance, how would your sins be absolved? You definitely do have to become Satopradhan from Tamopradhan. This is the last birth, and so you definitely have to become pure. If you don't follow the Father's Srimad, what status would you claim? You have been calling out to me for half the cycle. I am now telling you to become pure and to remember me. Continue to show the path to others and also give them the message. The Father says, Man Mana Bhav. Death is just ahead of you. Only you are called messengers. No one apart from you Brahmins can become a messenger. The purifier, shivbaba, has come. It is also written in whom he enters. They don't understand that establishment takes place through Brahma. Would Prajapita Brahma exist in the subtle region? It is here that he changes from impure to pure. Establishment is carried out with the power of silence, whereas destruction takes place with the power of science. Everyone asks how there can be peace. Souls are embodiments of peace. They come here to play their parts, and so how could they remain peaceful here? That peace can be experienced in the land of peace. Here you only receive sorrow. In the golden age there are both peace and happiness. Your children are now listening to Baba personally. The father says impure ones can never meet me. Otherwise, sin is accumulated by the Brahmin teacher who brings such ones here. There is the example of the fairy and the court of Indra. In fact, this is the court of Indra. All of you are different angels of knowledge, golden fairies of knowledge. Otherwise, the consequences would be worse. Baba strictly forbids you to bring impure ones here. Previously, Baba would always ask anyone who came here if they had made a promise about purity. They would reply, "We are still making effort." Only when you have firm faith can you meet Baba. If you meet Baba and then indulge in vice, there would be 100-fold punishment. The father would understand it is perhaps not in your fortune. The father tells you how to make effort in order to create your fortune. So what would your condition be if you don't listen to what such a father tells you? The father has mercy and he therefore says, continue to correct yourself. It shouldn't be that you die while moving along. There should be the consent to remember the father and to remove the burden of sin. Acha, only shivbaba grants everyone salvation. You cannot take a photograph of him. He can only be seen on a divine vision. However, he can be known. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, create such a stage that at the end you only remember the one father and no one else. It should remain in your intellect that all of this is to be destroyed. Second point, correct yourselves. Definitely become pure in this last birth. You should have the concern not to commit any further sin. Blessing. May you be a number one businessman and use every second and thought to accumulate an income and thereby become a multi-millionaire. Explanation. A number one businessman knows the way to keep himself busy. A businessman means someone who doesn't waste a single thought but earns something with every thought. Just as those businessmen use every penny and make it into multi-millions, in the same way, when you earn something at every second and with every thought, you will become multi-millionaire. By doing this, your intellect will stop wandering and the complaint of wasteful thoughts will finish. Slogan. Those who ask for something can never have a full treasure of happiness. Om Shanti.